Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advance. This game was played in the 2018 Tal Memorial, and we know who won the Tal Memorial. It is exactly Vishy Sir himself, and this is one such amazing game that was played in the Tal Memorial. This is with the white pieces we have Vishy Sir, and with the black pieces we have Alexander Grischuk. So this is going to be very spectacular game. So without further ado, let's start with this game. Here Vishy Sir starts with e4. We have c5. We go for the Sicilian. We have knight to f3, knight to c6, and bishop to b5. This is the Nejmedina Rosalimo attack, and Vishy Sir played this against Daniel Dubov and won the game as well. Let's see how he's able to do against Alexander Grischuk, which is a very fierce and amazing play. Here we have g6 now, just the main line. We can get a variation. We have bishop captures d3, and now just going for bishop to g7. We have h3, knight to g6, knight to c3, castles, bishop to e3, and the position is very nice. Now that pawn is hit, what do you do in this position? b6 was played just to try and keep the structure intact and not lose any pawns, and maybe just going for the double fiend ghetto variation. We have queen to d2, e5, and now bishop to h6. So definitely starting an attack early on, and there is not much you can do in this position because queen to d6 was played, and just queenside castle. So how do you start an attack towards the queen side? Here immediately Alexander Grischuk goes for a5, because you know that once you are not attacking towards the queen side and all the momentum shifts towards the king side, then you can understand that the position would be very difficult to defend, and he knows the importance of that. So that's why a5 is a crucial move in this position. You play g4 now and just a4, king to b1, and you could start with a3, but the thing is after b3 there is very difficult. I mean, it's very difficult to find a move. What do you even play in this position? Maybe you can just dump put the bishop there and put the rook there. Also, rook to d8 is a very nice move in this position. You're just hitting the queen. There could be, if this knight moves, some possibilities of sacrifices here and just winning a pawn. But after knight to e2, you can understand that bishop to e6, and the position is looking very nice in this. And there could be lot of moves here in this position. I mean, the pawn storm is definitely coming. It's very difficult to defend, and somewhere along the line e3, b5, and b4 is also coming. So yeah, you have to be very careful in this position. But after king to b1, here just bishop to e6 was played, just getting all the pieces organized. We have knight to e2, and now just finally going for that b5 thrust. Knight to g3 was played, but we have rook after d8, finally going for that. But now just bishop captures on g7, king captures, and just queen to g5. And this queen to g5 is a beautiful move. How do you even kick the queen out of there? With the knight being there, with these two knights here, there's always going to be sacrifices in the air, and the first threat is basically just knight jumping to f5, because it's going to hit the knight, it's going to hit the queen, and after bishop captures you lose your defender, and not only that, you open up the g file for my attack, and it's looking very bleak in this position. Knight to d7 was tried, but we have knight to f5 as planned. Bishop captures, and just g captures a3 now, just trying to attack, but there are no pieces there. How are you going to ever just handle? I mean, you can just break open with the pawn, but even you have to understand that you need some pieces to be able to just go with the attack. And here in this position, b3 was played, not allowing anything. There is no queen to d5 or d4 to worry about here in this position to try and go for mate. So you don't have to worry about anything. You can go all out with the attack. h6 was played, but now just queen to g3, king to h7, and just rook h to g1. So there's just immense pressure. This is coming, and the position is looking really bad. Queen to f6 was tried in this position by Sasha. Here just h4 now. We have g captures, queen to h3 now, and just f4. So trying to close up the position, but that's not going to happen in this position. Vishy Sir played one of the most amazing moves that you could play in this position, and played with the spirit of Tal by summoning Tal and just saying and just Tal saying to Vishy Sir, just go all out, and he goes for rook to g5 in this position. And the trouble is you cannot capture. If you capture, then just knight jumps in, or even if this file opens up with tempo, I mean, next what you're getting is basically checkmate. And here queen to e6 was played by Sasha, asking for a queen trade, but this is just easier said than done. This is not going to happen. Rook to f5 now, and there's a lot of pressure, and only defensive resource that you have in this position is just basically rook to f8. And now after knight to g5 does not work in this position, simply because of the fact h captures, and king to g7. But after rook to h1, unfortunately this doesn't work, because now you have this, and that's defended, that is defended, so you don't have to worry about anything. Even this is not an idea, because there's queen captures, so you are all set. But unfortunately here Sasha did not go for this. He goes for rook to g8 in this position, and rook to g8 just completely blunders the game. And here this time, in the spirit of Tal, he goes for knight to g5, and now the queen and the king is hit, and there is nothing you could do. Even if you play this king to h8, you're just getting mated, or worse, you're just losing material. Here rook caps on f7, not even just trying to do anything, just going for it. Now just go for checkmate, and queen is also hit, so you can capture it, but if you capture it, you're just getting checkmated. So rook captures on g5, trying to stop the checkmate, but now you can just pick up the queen. It's completely over, and next you're getting mated. There is no defense, and whatever you do, you're just not surviving. Even if you go for this knight captures on e6, I mean, the queen is free basically. But and that was just a very nice line. But after knight to g5, here edge captures was played. So Sasha tries to go for it, but after rook captures on f7, we have queen captures and just edge captures. And unfortunately, there is no defense. King to g7 was tried, but here a beautiful queen to h6 checkmate. Now, just going for this, even the queen and the rook are still available. They can still not save the king. And we got this beautiful miniature in just 30 moves where Vishy Sir absolutely obliterated Alexander Grischuk and got the spectacular victory and went on to win the Tal Memorial in absolutely amazing style. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with games like these, so stay updated, stay tuned to the channel, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. Thank you all for watching.